Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? Welcome to the new era of FMTV. It's the Messi era here on FMTV. Nothing's changed, but it's all a little more exciting, a little more things going on. So we're going to get into all that tonight, and we're going to have fun with Messi while he's here for the next 2.5 years. So it's going to be a lot of fun. For everybody that's new here, welcome, and you'll get to learn what the show is like. Try to be as, looking at the chats and voicemails and all that kind of stuff as we possibly can. So welcome, enjoy the ride, and let's have some fun. But I don't have this fun by myself. Of course, I do this with everybody's favorite uncle. That's Uncle Ed. Say hi, Ed.
How's it going, boys and girls? Here we are. But like Peter said, for all you guys that don't know, haven't seen the program before, with this new Messi era that Peter keeps talking about. I'm your friendly neighborhood bald guy from Miami. I don't have the best of looks, but I do have a nice bald thing going here. But I appreciate that you guys are here following us. We're going to talk a lot about Messi. It's going to get messy in here.
Of course. And, what did we coin ourselves as, Ed? The number one Messi talk, or what was your verbiage?
Well, we're definitely the OGs of South Florida soccer, and here we are with the best, with the best Messi coverage in the known multiverse.
Multiverse. So welcome everybody, and I started off by saying welcome to everybody that's new, because I'll tell you, our video that we posted, the game day vlog, is on fire with I'm trying to
red hot.
Yeah, trying to get there with around 58,000 views so far. So that means we're going to have some new people, and welcome to those new people. A lot of people that have joined in to just a lot of new subscribers that have joined in just to take the ride with Messi, and we're here for it.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to be talking about the game a little bit. We're going to be talking to a great guest that we've got, a journalist that we've known forever, when there were like four of us, trying to help bring soccer to South Florida. He was there with us. He's going to help us go down through memory lane, so you guys have an idea of everything it took to bring a soccer team to South Florida. Peter, I guess we can let's do some business.
Yeah, I'll say, and that is Simon Evans you're talking about. So Simon Evans will be joining us in the second half of the show, and we'll go down memory lane a little bit. Simon Evans is a writer that's an international writer, journalist, and so he's got the great English accent. Make this show just a little more classy. And so we'll get into all that. But before we do that, Ed, I'll tell you where you need to go. You need to go to Caneswear, and that's located in Davie, Florida, just on University Drive, just south of 595. Caneswear is where you need to go to get all your Inter Miami gear. And actually, I want to take you to their website real quick, Ed, because look, they've got everything. And if you're asking the question, do they have the Messi jerseys in stock? They're just like every place else, just like Fanatics and all that. They're on pre-order. So unless you're buying them at the stadium right now, you're going to end up with a pre-order. But look at the prices. These prices are better than what you will find in the stadium. These are better prices for Inter Miami gear. And I'll tell you, Ed, this is what I'm going there for. I'm going to go and I'm going to get me this shirt. Look at that T-shirt.
The GOAT, the greatest of all time.
They asked me if I thought that they should buy this shirt, and I said yes. I said, at the very least, you'll sell one to me.
Me too. And I'm going to get them on caneswear.com because, it's a little far from me, and I want it delivered straight to my door.
Yeah, and if you were wondering if they have all the Messi branded gear, they've got it. I'm a big fan of this one as well, Ed. I like this Bienvenido Messi shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Very Miami with that look and stuff like that. So this is where you need to go to get all your Inter Miami gear. You want to support us? Support Caneswear. Simple as that.
Exactly. And I see, Peter, we're wearing the same shirt, aren't we? The very first
Wow, how about that? This was not planned.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about this shirt because I don't really like this shirt that much. The pink is not very. Where is it? The pink is not very bright.
Right.
But it is the year one shirt.
Right.
It's the year one shirt, and so I just
Mine looks more white. No.
brought out the mothballs and shined it up a little bit, and here we go. So Ed, why don't we say hello to a few people that are in the chat?
Let's do that. Let's start off with sports shorts. That's the first one I see. I don't know if you see the same first person sports shorts. How's it going, sports shorts? When we did the live, he was there when we did the live. That was awesome. We also talked to Omari, talking about the GOAT.
Okay, I don't see him yet, but go ahead.
We got Manuel saying "Hola, hola." There you go. You found him. You found him. What? Did I miss some people?
Yeah, maybe you're out of order, but that's okay.
Got you. It always is talking about he's not a footballer,
but
he's
God.
Football god. Wow. How's that? And we got who else we got? Well, I put something up there. Niemand77. Is this stream in English? Yes, it's in English. Tomorrow's a Spanish one.
So here's the thing. This is new to us, I guess, in some ways. Getting so many damn comments on our videos, and I appreciate it. I love it. There were some comments on there that said, "You lost me when you switched to Spanish," and then other comments that said, "Please, more Spanish." Right? So what we did in our last game day vlog, and we're going to try to do more of this, is it's a mix. It's a little bit of both. It was mostly
English.
We had like 2 or 3 interviews in Spanish. It was mostly English. But on this channel, you're going to hear a little bit of both. So those of you that are new, like Neiman maybe, Sunday nights, you're going to get your English. Monday nights, you're going to get your Spanish. Game day vlogs, you might get a little bit of both.
Yeah. So, all right, we got Carter is also with us. Good old Carter.
Did the bunny strike again?
Oh yes, the bunny struck again because I had my earphone. The bunny ate the earphone, so I guess I'm earphoneless for a while. Peter does it anyway all the time, so it's working out nice, I guess. Esteban Mejia, Peter Brown, also following us. All these people are some guys that they're.
He says, "Can Inter have a Ray redo the narration in epic movie style trailer again, please?"
Ooh.
That is something. Inter Miami has a relationship with Ray Hudson. Those of you that don't know, again, I think we need to reset a lot in tonight's show because we have so many new viewers. But Ray Hudson, a local
legend,
former Fort Lauderdale striker, and also you guys know him from just calling games on Champions League and stuff like that, but he's just got he's got a way of saying things.
He sure does. We got Jose Velasquez also with us.
This is a magisterial goal of the highest order.
There you go. A little taste of Ray.
Jose Velasquez was the last one we mentioned.
Sure.
You can't find one world, one goal also with us.
You and I are out of sync, Ed. We're usually like right in sync, but we're out of sync today.
Oh wow! I don't know. That's what came up on my feed right here.
Figure it out.
MC, do you see MC?
Yes, I do.
Our good friend Eric Thomas. Up doing Joyzy. I saw him. He was in. I think he was in Brooklyn today because he sent us some pictures.
Oh, is that where that was? I didn't catch it.
Yeah, in the Ecuadorian neighborhood. Good. He recognized it. We got Rafael Hernandez. Do you have him, Peter Brown? Nardos Michael. Wow, he's all about the Messi. And we've got Pedro Rafael from Portugal.
Portugal. That's one of the cool things is I've seen so many people from all around the world checking in.
Carl Toppin is also with us. Guyver, our good friend Guyver's there. We've got, let's see, Pedro Rafael. Did I mention him already?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. He's all these new people. Rafael Hernandez. There we go. There's a new guy. Stanley Maristel. You're playing catch up here.
I know.
And we've got Loki. Wow. The god of mischief and and Thor's brother.
Hang on. Pause for a second. Eric Thomas needs a call out for this. A shout out for this. I'd like to see Uncle Ed read off 88 viewers tonight. By the time he's done reading, the show will be over.
It's true. We're at 99 at this point, Peter Brown Live. So you know what? Let's move on because he's right. This is not gonna end. We've got a whole bunch of people on the chat. We appreciate, guys. Get that chat going. Talk about Messi. Talk about Inter Miami. This is the Messi era.
And for those of you that are new, this is something how we start the show. We try to be as inclusive as possible. You guys are the most important part of the show.
Exactly. And you guys put questions, put any message you guys want us to put up. We try to pay attention to most of it. Sometimes we'll miss stuff. You can repeat yourself if you want, and eventually we'll mention stuff.
If you yell at me enough, like One World, One Goal does, I'll pay attention.
Oh, yeah. And there is also a number you guys can call us to and leave a message.
We'll get to that in just a second. Let's get through these chats.
No, I think we're good, Peter, because if we keep going, we're going to be here forever.
All right, well, just real quick, there's Sparkyar as well. Mike V is in here. Bring back Hudson. Bruno Vieira. Walt the Fuchs.
You know what that means.
Everybody's favorite internet troll, Louis Rodriguez. Don't take offense. I love you, Louis.
Louis, you got to put a picture of a troll right there.
Yeah. Daniel Casiba is here. Marvin Mieles. I don't want to forget him. He's with us for a long time.
Oh, he's with us from Ecuador.
And we'll finish here with Antor Sarkar from Bangladesh.
Nice. Thanks for staying up and watching our ugly mugs. Oh, it's probably morning over there. That's how you could wake up.
Is it really? Yeah, I have no idea what timeline they're on.
Oh, see, this Mr. Fax from India.
So, okay, the other way you could reach out to us is 786-474-4435. That's something we like to do. We don't take live calls as we go just because it's just messy that way. See what I did?
I see what you did there.
Never an end of that joke here. But we like to take some phone calls. You want to leave a voicemail? We will play it as long as I see it before the show ends, because there's been a couple that have come in right at the buzzer, and I miss them. But if you get them in early, we will definitely get to your voicemail. So 786-474-4435.
All right.
More coming in. Lucas Marcellini from Buenos Aires. Raj Kumar. And like Kata says, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you are watching this and you're not subscribing, what the hell's wrong with you? Because when we get to 5,000 subs, we're giving away VIP, front row leather seats, free food, free beverages to 2 people, or 2 tickets. 1 person, 2 tickets. And you get to choose if you want to sit with me or Uncle Ed. And
pick Uncle Ed.
And
more fun.
Sit in the new. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked by. I got a new keyboard and I'm taking it apart.
Oh boy.
But yeah, you'll sit with us as long as you're local, that is, or you can get here. Like if you're international, you can get here for that game. Then fine, come on.
If you can fly in on time.
That's right. So we're. Mr. Fax, we don't need tickets. Just get better defenders. This team is insane. You're not kidding.
We're going to talk about that in a bit. Definitely. Or should we just jump in there?
Let's just jump right in there, because the second half of the show is in only 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes, and we haven't really said anything yet. So, Messi era has begun, and it was just, I don't know, Ed, how you felt, but for me, it was just that kind of smile you can't wipe from your face. It just feels unreal. And if you watched our game day vlog, you got a sense of where I was at. We're watching and focusing on substitutes, warming up on the field. The cameras on the game were focused on the bench more than maybe the game on the field. And it was just a different level of excitement And just to think, and I felt this way when I went on that Sunday evening, went to the event, the unveil event, when I just took a moment and realized this guy who's like the best player in the world is going to be playing in my hometown stadium every weekend or every other weekend. It's going to call my hometown stadium Lockhart Stadium, where Ray Hudson ran the field. Gerd Mueller. All these great. George Best. The same plot of land.
Nene Cubillas.
Nene Cubillas, yes. And that's like, he's often forgotten, but should not be.
One of the best South American players ever.
Peruvian, great. So
playmaker.
Yeah, it was just like amazing feeling that this guy is going to be on our team. And then, watching the first half of the game, I know I'm all over the place, but welcome to the show. That's what it is. As bad as the first half was, and I was, look, I rewatched the game on TV, and I was equally as nervous as if I didn't know what the final score was. Our defenders, like the one guy said, I think Raj said, was that it was so bad that I wondered what Messi was thinking. How did you take in the beginning of the game, Ed? What was your feeling?
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, we're coming off of, we've lost so many games that, it hurt. And our defense has been, last year I think was worse. But this year we've been just losing. We went through a bad streak. We had Phil Neville for a coach. It wasn't working out. They fired him. Now we got Tata Martino. Tata Martino's first game back. Had to do some readjustments. He still lost. And then we get Messi in this game, and things just started to change, Peter Brown.
Changed in a big way. It was amazing. It was, but, you and I, okay, the one thing I it's funny is I joked with you before the show started and saying, hey, you and I kind of played around on YouTube before. Now it's the real YouTube, because now real people are watching and criticism comes in left and right about what you may or may not say, what mistakes you may make. Everybody wants to criticize, blah, 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 blah. But I lost my train of thought already. See? Now people are going to criticize that.
And we're live.
So we're live. That's the thing is, so many of these people will do these kind of things, and they'll do them pre-recorded or edited. And I'm actually going to do a show, a guest on a show tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be edited. This mess that we do is live, but it was just
live. But yeah, Peter, one of the things, we were there with the supporters, like we said. Check out our previous video. That's the one that's got us in the supporters section. It was pretty wild because we're trying to watch the game, and we're I guess you could say the originators of the supporters game. Peter Brown and myself and Julio Caballero, we kind of started the whole thing. But we're kind of out there in the age. You could see that in the gray hairs we got here.
More so.
So we're like, let's, it's fun and all, being there, with the supporters. But the thing is, we like watching the game. So we're like, we move to a section where we watch the game. This time we decide, Messi's first game, we're going to go sit with all the crazies.
Well, let's be honest. It was the tickets that were affordable. Let's be honest. That's the Messi effect. The ticket prices have gone through the roof. And I am planning on going to Tuesday's game. I have not bought tickets yet. I should have bought them in advance. I didn't, because I didn't think I was going to go. But I'll be honest with you guys. With the response that we got from that game day video, I feel like I owe it to the fans and owe it to the people from around the world that are watching these videos to do another game day vlog on Tuesday. I think I owe it to you guys. I feel like a level of responsibility is kind of amped up a little. Before it was like a hobby. Now it feels like I have a responsibility. And so I'm planning on going to that Tuesday night game. But I am not sitting with the supporters this time. That was rough, Ed. Whoa. That was rough. Sitting with people that want to stand on the railings, and you got someone's butt in your face, and I'm just too damn old. You made a joke about, and I assume it was a joke.
And there's flags going around.
That was actually one of the comments in our video was somebody, and I'm assuming he was an English fan or something like that, saying that I'm surprised they're allowed to fly these flags during the game. And my response to him, and guys, if you're watching this for the first time, most Football Miami TV responses are me, because quite often Ed will log into his own personal account, so you'll know it's Ed. If it says Football Miami TV, it's usually me. But I had told the guy that it's a very South American crowd, and South American friendly crowd. It's going to have flags and drums all game, whether you like it or not. And I'm not complaining about the flag in my face. But someone's butt in my face, I might complain a little. Like, God, dude, can you just two steps to the left?
Butt in your face too.
2 steps to the left.
But Peter, yeah, I mean, wow, that experience was incredible. Being there, with the supporters, all the yelling going on. Yes, the butts in your face, but we were there to see Messi, and yes, he was in the still on the bench. And frankly, guys, we were like, everybody was concentrated more on the bench than in the actual game in the first half, until the goal.
And
that was good.
Yeah,
but we were being dominated by Cruz Azul for the most part, right, Peter?
Yeah.
Golazo.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't hear you, Peter, where you were there. Couldn't hear you.
Turn you back up so I can hear you again.
There you go. I couldn't hear anything that you said, but we saw the goal, and I think people saw that we were excited when the goal went. Awesome.
Yeah, I think the audio of that video was too loud. It was
I couldn't hear anything that you said, but they got the gist of it. They got to see the goal from a fan perspective,
and one that we can't get copyright struck for.
That's our video.
A friend of ours took it. We had a video as well from the behind the goal, but it was craziness. It was madhouse.
You should show them.
When you saw,
you can see it in the video.
Exactly, you see it in our game day vlog, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Over 50,000 views. But we talked about it in that video, and so many people have said the similar things. Look, the writers for movies and TV shows are on strike. So I don't know how this goal happened, because they clearly could not write the script because they were on strike. But somehow somebody wrote this script, Messi read it, and delivered. The funny thing is, my wife, those of you that don't know, is Brazilian, and she speaks Spanish as well. She was reading comments. My wife became our social media manager there for a minute, Ed. I don't know if you realize. She started promoting us, in Inter Miami's posts left and right, and just trying to become our biggest social media manager there. And wow. It was funny. But
I heard she got us on TikTok, Peter.
We're on TikTok, folks.
Oh, follow us on TikTok, guys. I don't know how that happened, but apparently we're on TikTok.
Well, I'll get to that in just a second. But one of the things that was popping up left and right, and I did see somebody write an article about it, is that there is a conspiracy theory about that goal.
Oh, boy.
That this was a script that was written, followed, and the fix was in. Now, I don't know how the fix could be in, because clearly Messi could miss the goal. He had to deliver. He had to actually do it. But there are articles, and there are a bunch of idiots out there that are claiming that this was a
setup.
It's total setup. The fix was in, that, it goes down like it's a movie. And we said this at the end in our vlog that you asked me if I believed that this was going to happen. I said no, because good things like this don't happen to us. It's like as if, and I think one of our people we interviewed said it was like a Disney fairy tale ending.
He did. Yes. And it was. A lot of people said, dude, this was like a perfect script, like, you know, like it was all set up. But no, it wasn't. I mean, we were there. You know, it's funny because they tied us with Messi in the field, and his body language was saying, I can't believe this happened. You know, we were up 1-0. Taylor was the one that had scored that goal for us. Our Finnish guy. Is it Finnish? Yeah, he's Finnish, and he finished. Oh, there's going to be plenty of these jokes, guys.
And that was the thing. My wife was like, hey, wait a minute. What about that guy's goal? Nobody's talking about it. And it was a beautiful goal by Taylor.
Awesome goal. He finished really well. And, you know, so that was good because we were up 1-0. But Cruz Azul, I have to say, they dominated the game, man. With Messi in there also, you know, the tie would have been, you know, at least a little bit more truthful to how the whole game went. Our defense was atrocious. I mean, I think everybody in the chat room is saying the same thing.
Yeah.
We were not that good in defense.
We're not getting to the chat as much as we normally would, but also in 3 minutes or so, we're going to have a guest calling in. But that's the question of the video. And this comment here says that Babin 33668 says Messi alone cannot take us to far level as expected. It depends on how good the teammates are. And that's the question. How far can Messi take us? Can Messi and Busquets, because look, Busquets is not getting talked about, but he was amazing in that game. He knew how to find Messi in all these clever little passes. And I don't know if you noticed, he's directing. Look, I got criticized on our vlog for a few things, and it's funny. I don't mind. But one of the things I got criticized for was I asked the question, should Messi have received the captain's armband? Has he deserved it? And I think it's a valid question. Come at me all you want. I know he's got the experience, but he doesn't even know half the players' names probably. He's just learning people, right? Mm-hmm. It's maybe a little too early. And
maybe he calls them Bobo. Hey, Bobo. You know, that's what more jokes. We got plenty of these guys.
It was basically given to him, I think, in my opinion, just as a thing of honor, like, you know, right? But to me, should Busquets become the captain? Because he's out there directing. He
is. He's our quarterback right now.
He is the quarterback for sure.
And he really, you know, the funny thing is, Peter, he really plays as a defensive midfielder. Yet I think he was playing a little bit higher. I saw Arroyo was going more back towards. He was actually doing the defensive midfielder role when Sergio started going up. So I think that was pretty interesting. I like how they started doing that. Our defense definitely, yes. Our left back. Well, they're saying he sucked. We had an injury of one of our players. Ian Frey got hurt. It's an ACL, right, Peter? That he got hurt really bad. Of him, he's been getting hurt too much. Unfortunately, it's just unfortunate plays that have made a lot of our players are hurt, guys, and that's another reason why we're in last place. I think we had pretty decent players at the beginning of the year. We had 2 games in a row that we won, and it looked like we were going to start off the year perfect, but then player after player started going down, and that is, where we are right now. And we're hoping that Messi and company could help.
Yeah, somebody was just asking if my mic was down. Can you guys hear me okay?
I could hear you okay. It was down a little bit earlier.
Okay.
I think when you came back from the video, your volume was a little bit off, but I think you're good now. Oh, and I think we got our guests coming in.
Yep, he's in the green room right now, and so we'll bring Mr. Simon Evans in just a minute. But yeah, hopefully my mic is fixed.
Punctual. He's not on Latin time, Peter Brown.
No, not Latin time. That's English time. They're on time. It's not like you. But somebody was commenting that our left back, Mr. Fax, was saying our left back sucks. Well, I mean, for the most part, we've been playing our left backs with like youth players. I mean, no offense to Noah Allen, who's playing in there, but he's still learning. He's young. He's coming up. But we got Jordi Alba coming in, so that'll fix that left back problem, right? I imagine. But all right. So I am set up here. So at this point, let's move forward and let's get global. Let's talk to our buddy and we're going to get to the voicemails. We'll probably end up going long tonight. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. So those of you that are just checking in and wondering, if we're going to get to everything, we will probably go long. We'll talk 15, 20 minutes with our buddy, and then we'll get to your voicemails. So you still have a chance to send in your voicemails, and that is at 786-474-4435. We'll get to those in about 20 minutes maybe. But before we do all that, let's say a big welcome to our buddy, and that is Simon Evans. Hey, Simon, how you doing?
Yay. Good to see you, Peter. Hi, Ed. How are you doing?
Good.
Great.
Seeing
It's been
you,
a
Simon.
long time.
It's been a while, man.
It has been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. No, I was away for roughly about 5 years back in England working there. So came back in October, and then all this starts happening, right?
Perfect timing. So you're back in Miami, I take it.
I'm back in the soccer hotbed of Broward County, yeah.
I like it Broward County better, except for when they open up Miami Freedom Park, then it's going to suck. But for now, they can take as long as they want because, it's easy to get to DRV PNK Stadium. But Simon, for those of you that don't know, Simon, writes all over the place. I know you used to work for Reuters and all kinds of stuff. He's a great writer. But we go way back. I mean, from back when I remember, you were one of the few reporters, especially international kind of reporters that were with us in standing around in a parking lot under a freeway. Right at a soccer event that we thought and we hoped that David Beckham might show up to, and even before that, going to Fort Lauderdale Strikers and Miami FC games. Simon was there through the early years to see where it was and where it's at now. What are your thoughts about where we are based on where we came from, Simon?
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, I was thinking about that stuff this morning. I sort of had a little nostalgia session. I was looking back through my phone to see how much, when you upgrade your phone over the years, you lose some of the pictures and so on. I was like, I wonder what's left from the old Lockhart days. And my old Strikers and Miami FC little snaps must be somewhere else, but I could only find the one that I posted of that sorry state of Lockhart in 2019 when Jorge Martin and David Beckham turned up and announced that this is where the stadium was going to be temporarily. But yeah, I have a lot of happy memories of those times. I mean, some of it was work. Some of it for me was actually, doing the story about, is this franchise going to happen? Yeah. The Beckham stuff. I mean, I had a chance to talk with Don Garber last week before the event. And how many times I did like interviews with Garber where I was the guy on the conference call saying, and what about Miami? When they were talking about expansion teams, and it was always a bit of a joke. But then there was even when you remember that event with Beckham that was down the waterfront next to the what was the American Airlines Arena, right? I can't remember the.
Yeah, I came on that one picture that went around the world.
Ed is everywhere in that photo. I didn't go to that event. Ed is everywhere in that photo. It's like he's Beckham's best friend there.
You did meet Beckham that time, didn't you? Yeah, yes. And I remember there was something at FIU as well where Beckham turned up around.
That was actually the very first time. Yeah, with Marcelo Claure, he actually gave. He sent a message to Julio Caballero and he said, "Be at FIU at this time." And he went. He told us it was David Beckham. We're like, we're the first guys he saw. He saw my ugly mug first.
Yeah. No, you've got quite a few selfies with Beckham over the years, haven't you? Yeah, it's quite a collection you've got there. But those days.
One, Simon.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get. Although he seemed pretty generous with the selfies, like walking into the game beforehand. I saw him stop with a few kids there, and he's doing everything right, isn't he? That
sure
side
is.
of things.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So yeah, no, a lot of memories, and some of it was fun, right? I wasn't covering strikers games in the old NASL or Miami FC games. I wasn't writing about those
But
for
you were
Reuters
around. You were still around.
right? Yeah. Well, it's soccer, isn't it? It's your local game. Yeah.
Simon, I think you were there for that meeting that we had with Garber, if I'm not mistaken, in Fort Lauderdale. We had a meeting in a hotel
where he told you guys when you said, well, what are we supposed to do in the meantime? And he actually said, considering all the rows that have gone on for years between the second divisions and MLS and so on, if I recall, he actually said, support the strikers.
Exactly what he said. He said something about when you get to like 10,000 regular, attendees, then we'll talk. So support the strike. At the end of the day, what it really cost, what it took was somebody to stroke a big check. And that's where Jorge Mas and David Beckham came in. Beckham with his Groupon deal, 25 million discount, buy one, get one free type of deal. And Mas with the rest of the pocketbook to make it happen. But Beckham is definitely, he's really taken it with Mas. Mas is taking it to that next level. And getting to where we are today, I mean, the Messi event is just what from your perspective, I'm just curious on what it's like to think of Messi joining Inter Miami. Because even as I'm watching it, and I'm watching that Cruz Azul game, and I realize, look, we're in last place for a reason. I mean, the main reason I think is, a lot of injuries. But then to some extent, the roster was held in hostage or whatever because they're waiting for Messi and holding a bunch of money and a bunch of international spots and things like that with the hopes of getting Beckham with getting Messi and then bringing in some of his buddies. So they were somewhat handcuffed to some extent. But I'm watching that Cruz Azul game and the first half, the defense, like all our commenters are saying, defense was horrible. And I'm wondering, what is Messi thinking? And what is the world thinking when they see that Messi is joining this pile of?
Yeah. Actually, there was like a little GIF went round, which never went viral, but somebody WhatsApped it to me during the game, and it was like it must have been a misplaced pass on the field or something. And Messi, it's just a little 5 seconds clip of Messi turning to somebody on the bench and going. And it was like you could just see this being like, if this thing had not gone well on Friday, you could just see this being the viral meme that Messi, like, this is what I've joined. But I mean, to be fair to the defenders, actually, not to get like too technical about it all, but I think the problem was as well, there wasn't much protection for the back line either. The central midfield areas, which were transformed when Sergio Busquets came on. Yeah. But that central midfield area, they didn't protect the back line very well. But you're right. I mean, the injuries have been just terrible, and they got worse with poor Ian Frey. I mean, that's Ian Frey, really.
Yeah, we didn't touch on that yet, but Ian Frey, who, if I remember correctly, his ACL, he had 2 ACLs, and I think they were on the same right knee. Now this is on the left, I believe. So at least it's a different leg. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's any better, but the kid, and he's actually practically a neighbor of mine. He's a Coconut Creek kid. I'm in Coconut Creek rooting for him. And just when he starts to get ahead a little bit, another crush. And when you watch him slamming his hands on the ground, I was watching that again, replaying it again on TV and realizing that's not about pain. That's about the frustration of here I go again, like Whitesnake used to say.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, it's a horrible one that you can always tell when it's a non-contact situation and
those
the
are the
player
worst.
goes down, and they've had the history as well. I mean, best of luck to the guy. I really hope he's out for the rest of the season, the club say, but let's hope he can, slowly start that long and difficult journey back to full fitness. And hopefully, I mean, for a kid as well to suddenly play his first game with Messi and think, I'm a teammate of Messi and Busquets, and then suddenly you're not. It's a horrible one. But anyway, I wish him all the best and hope he gets back soon and gets his career back on track.
But from your perspective, what is the world saying about Messi coming to Miami? Is it considered a joke, or is it, hey, he's here to lift, U.S. soccer to that next level? I'm just curious, what's a perspective from what you're seeing from outside? I mean, I'm very insular. I'm kind of looking at the U.S. media and stuff like that. But what's the world media saying?
Yeah, I think Friday was really important in that respect for like shifting that narrative a little bit, because the image of that goal and the crowd celebrations, that was real football, right? I mean, that
Yeah.
was top class real football. That was a highlight moment that, like, when they put together the reel of all Messi's great moments, and there are many of them, there is already a little bit where he's in pink, right? So there's that was genuine football moment. The way the crowd reacts, the smoke and everything that was happening there. I think for anyone in Europe or other parts of the world, and there are some who think he's just, he wants to sit on the beach. It's a retirement league. MLS isn't serious. Messi's like finished as a top 5 player. I think just even seeing that clip in the morning on Twitter would be, okay, something's going on here. Like this is something real, because that is the image. And to be honest, I wrote a piece about it on Saturday as well. There's been so much focus in the media, both abroad and in the US, on what this means for the business of MLS, what this means for Apple TV, what this means for MLS's image and reputation around the world. They're like, no one really seemed to stop and think, what does it actually mean for Messi? And for me, the most striking thing about Friday and the whole week, I was out at training a couple of times, at practice a couple of times, and the fact that he looks so happy. He looked, when he was, a French journalist for L'Equipe wrote that when he was playing for Paris Saint-Germain, he looked like he was walking to the dentist's, and he looks really happy again. And you could just tell, even those little 15 minutes that the media get access to at the training, you can see he's joking with players, he's talking with them. When Yedlin was talking to the media and he was asked about, what's he like as a teammate, you could tell he wasn't just giving us a PR line that, oh no, Leo's a great teammate. He was enthusing about it, and there's a whole buzz around all those players. He's happy, he's enjoying it. I think that's a big part of the story that needs to be told. This could actually extend Messi's career in a really positive way.
And we hope so, because they're going to build that new stadium in Miami, and I think they want him to be playing when that happens. But have you heard anything about that, Simon?
No, I mean, 2025 is the date we've all been told, right? But these things sometimes get delayed.
Yeah. I could see them trying their best to extend Messi's contract for as long as it takes to get him to play at least one game in that stadium. Yeah. They want him to christen that stadium for sure, but that's so far away at this point. I mean, we still have so much, to do before that happens, but it will be exciting for the city of Miami when he actually plays in Miami. But for now, Broward all day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, to be honest, from my own selfish perspective, but also from a kind of football romantic perspective, and in the context of all this, the nostalgia we touched upon earlier, I'd be quite happy if they just redeveloped Drive Pink into a 30,000 stadium, and put in some better parking facilities. But it's not going to happen at all.
It's not going to happen. We all know that the league wants to be in Miami. They've wanted to be in Miami for ever. Yeah. They, in the longest time, said Fort Lauderdale is not in the conversation. The only reason Fort Lauderdale was even entertained was because of Jorge Mas and his belief in Miami. They knew it would end up there. So there is no, I mean, they look at Fort Lauderdale as a failed market because of the fusion, and we can go down that path, but we all know that it wasn't the market, it was the ownership. But that's the past.
Simon, let's talk about, the players. They're still talking about players that are coming. We know Jordy's on his way, but now they're talking about Suarez. Have you heard of any other rumor out there?
Well, Jorge Mas was really quite open about it when he talked to the media on Tuesday, and I've never seen a club owner do this before, because you usually get like owner speak when you ask about transfers, And somebody said, any other news? And he's like, yeah, Jordi Alba's going to come in the building and sign today. We're signing Diego Gomez tomorrow. We've got this verbal agreement with this guy. And he just lifted. I had to walk out of that room and sit down on my laptop and I've just got 5 transfer stories in 10 minutes from this guy. I wish he'd just calm down a bit.
Yeah, and
Too much.
And the MLS rules. I don't know how good you are, Simon, on the MLS rules. How does all that happen, financially speaking? It's like a puzzle, right?
Yeah. So Jorge Mas also said that he expects those rules to be simplified in the near future.
Did.
And I find that really interesting. Simplified into the extent that you can do whatever you want to make Messi happy. I think that's maybe what they're talking about. Look, I think, and Don Garber's also hinted they are going to change things around. I mean, it's way too, way too difficult trying to explain. I feel sorry for the commentators on the broadcast when they have to say, oh, he's not a designated player. He's a TAM player. He's an enhanced international slot and all this. Just simplify it. If you're going to have four designated players, have 4 designated players and the rest of them, or just whatever. I don't know. It's way too complicated. And we all know that when Beckham was at the LA Galaxy, they were allowed to build a team for him there. And the people in the league grumbled about it at the time, but it's a collective entity as well as MLS. So everyone's a winner sort of thing. So they turned a blind eye. So I suspect the same thing might happen again.
Sure. Or from what somebody laid this out to me, and I thought, well, this is an interesting way of bringing in a big name player, like Mr. Want to bite people,
Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws. Want to bring Jaws in.
Let's not go there. Let's talk about.
But like they did with Bale, is that you apparently you sign like a 6-month deal. Basically, that is 6 months. You're going to get like as much as we could pay you as a TAM player, with the promise of next year you will be a DP, because we know next year they fingers crossed that there will be at least minimum of 4 DPs allowed in the league. So you could sign Suarez to a lower level deal for 6 months, hide the money, I guess, because we know how that's worked for Inter Miami before, hiding the money, but.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the players coming in, the ones that actually really, really encouraged me that this might be an exciting project for the longer term, beyond the Messi period, was signings like Diego Gomez. 20-year-old playing for the Paraguay national team. All the reviews of him when you speak to people who follow football in South America closely are really positive. He was captain of the under-20s. He's won the league with Libertad down there. He's an energetic box-to-box player. And I'm like, this is exactly what the team needs. They need some energy, some youth, and the calling card they've now got when they go looking in the Argentine league for players in their 20s, to be able to go there and say, would you like to come and play for Inter Miami? By the way, we've got this guy called Messi as well. I mean, how are you not going to be tempted?
Yeah, when you got a guy like Messi, you've got people like Rodolfo Pizarro offering to play for free. That was the rumor, was that he had offered to play for free, which clearly is not allowed. But and that's what, and they ended up breaking that contract, ending that contract, walking away from each other. But people just want to play with Messi. You were talking about the youth, and Kata in the chat is also bringing up Facundo Farias is also coming in and is a gem.
Yeah, a lot of good things. All those names that were mentioned, I think Brian Aguirre, who was the other one who's been mentioned. I've heard some rumors that might not be happening. Yeah, so there's clearly, look around MLS, how much young Argentine talent there is already. We're going to see one of them on Tuesday, Thiago Almada. You can find players like that down in the Argentine league and bring them in, young, hungry, wanting to impress Messi, wanting to maybe, see. This is almost unthinkable to be saying, but to see Inter Miami as a route into the Argentine national team, because these games are going to be very high profile in Argentina,
So let's talk about that. The next game of the League's Cup is, 2 Argentinian national team teammates playing against each other in Inter Miami versus Atlanta. Is Atlanta potentially a better challenge than Cruz Azul. That's what a lot of people are saying is Miami we'll see where we're at when we play Atlanta. They're a top 5 team versus Cruz Azul that's not doing so great.
Well, yeah, I think it was a bit overplayed. The Cruz Azul aren't any good thing because they had 3 games into the season. They lost their 3 games, and they had some players missing for those games. So, and Atlanta haven't been playing that well recently either. So, I think this will be a better barometer of what you're going to get week in, week out in MLS, right? This is going to be much more typical of what the every week game is going to be for the Miami now.
And let's be honest, if Drake Callender wasn't on fire, Cruz Azul would have been up 3-4-0 early on.
Yeah, and they missed some good chances as well. Some of the finishing was poor. I mean, that first 20 minutes, half an hour could have been a nightmare. I mean, I tweeted before the game that Inter Miami's job is like really simple tonight. Just stay in the game so that when Messi comes on, he's got a chance to impact it in the later stages, which is what they somehow managed to do. But for the first 20 minutes, they weren't doing a great job of it.
Yeah, and Ed and I were sitting in that goal, basically watching them attack coming at us, right, Ed?
It was terrible. It was they basically dominated us. But talk about Messi. Do you think he's going to start this game? How's it going to work out in your view?
Yeah, it's a tricky one whether to start him or not. I mean, I think that'll come down to just his legs. I mean, clearly, if you can get 75 minutes out of him and he comes off for the last 15, you're having a bigger impact. But there is, there will be a temptation to do a repeat show of Friday and just, let the team get there, save his legs a little bit, and then be in a position where when he comes on, and Busquets, who I just caught a little bit of what your appreciation of him, Ed, earlier, and you're spot on. I mean, those two had this great understanding at Barcelona where they just knew where each other were all the time. And when they came, that was the transformation. I mean, obviously the Messi goal dominates the whole discussion about Friday night. But up until, if the goal doesn't happen, what we're talking about is the total transformation of that team the minute those two players came on the field, because they have a telepathic understanding. I mean, Busquets, and they haven't played with each other for 2 years, right? With Messi,
sure doesn't look
Paris.
like it.
And they came on and they were like, he's not the most athletic guy, is he, Busquets, right? But he could play like that when he's 45 because he just reads the game so well. He threads these passes.
He's a younger Valderrama type of thing.
Unbelievable player. I mean, really a chance to watch one of the great midfielders of the last 20 years.
Yeah, and somebody had chatted us recently saying that the Busquets jerseys are like out of sold out as well on fanatics.com, which I was happy to hear that he got some love because all the focus is on Messi, but Busquets is quietly. And we asked this question earlier in the game because as I'm earlier in the show, while I'm watching him direct traffic. He is like Ed said, the quarterback. He's and I know they gave the captain's armband to Messi when he came on, but kind of feels like Busquets is more of a captain kind of guy. He's out there directing, and even if he doesn't have the armband, he's doing the job. He's out there, making it happen, moving pieces around like a chess master. And then just has a natural ability to find Messi wherever he is in a tight spot, makes the perfect pass.
Yeah, not only wherever he is, but where he's going to be.
Right.
That's it's those passes are going like 3 or 4 yards in front of Messi, so because he knows he's making that run behind the defender or whatever. Absolute genius. I mean, he really is. For any kid who wants to know how to play a central midfield role, just watch this. And it is different when you're in the stadium, isn't it? Because we've all watched Barcelona in the Champions League on TV and seen Busquets and Messi play together. And it's like, you don't appreciate how good it is until you sat there with that full view of it all.
And then when we get Jordi in there too, that's going to be incredible because they already know how to play as well. So it's going to be interesting. And somebody had mentioned that our left back was bad. So, we're getting the answer to that one.
The injuries thing there, Negri's a good left back, right? I mean,
I think he's good. I like him.
And that's that's another serious injury that's like wrecked that part of the team. So, Noah Allen's had to fill in there. Yedlin was playing on the wrong side for part of the game when he was playing there as well. I thought he came alive when those two came on as well, because this is what happens. I mean, Yedlin, people forget, he's an experienced Premier League footballer who's played at international level, a guy who Jurgen Klinsmann spotted when he was 17 and 18 and took to a World Cup because he thought, I think he'd only played one game in MLS when Klinsmann took him to the World Cup, a handful at the most. And Yedlin, as soon as those players came on, he knew that it was worth his while breaking his lungs, running 30 yards, overlapping down the right, because Busquets would find him. Or if he played it to Messi, Messi would find him. And he doesn't make those runs when he's not sure whether he's going to get the ball and there's going to be left exposed behind. So suddenly good things start happening around. Good players start looking better.
That's true.
The general theme of tonight was, where can Messi take us? So do you think Messi and Busquets can take this team with all the injuries? Can they take them far in the League's Cup? Can they take them to the playoffs? And if they could just get to the playoffs at this point, being in last place, that's a win. Can they potentially win the Open Cup while we're in the semifinals? How far do you think Messi and Busquets, with the current team, the way we are, how far do you think they can take us?
Well, having had a look at it on Friday, I've sort of changed my mind a little bit on that one, because I was thinking, there's going to be this weird situation where he's come into this team that's bottom of everything, and he's going to probably not get out of the group in the League's Cup because Messi and Busquets won't be ready yet. And so then there's a 3-week gap then until MLS comes, nearly a month out before MLS starts up again against Charlotte, I think it is, in August 21 or
August
2 or something like that.
August 20 something.
Yeah. So he has 3 weeks off. Okay, you can use that time for training, and then you come back and you straight away have that US Open Cup game. Well, Cincinnati are the strongest team in the Eastern Conference. That's going to be really difficult. So that's not going to happen. This was the way I was looking at it. And then, you look at the mathematics for reaching the playoffs, and they basically have to be not perfect, but I think, the calculation is something like win 8, draw 2 out of 12 or something like that. You've probably seen those calculations as well, but there's not much room for error, right? So I thought, you're talking about next season for impact. But having seen that on Friday, and you think, what are FC Cincinnati thinking about that now, that home game? Are they a little bit worried about playing into Miami now? I think they are. Could Miami go and upset Cincinnati with Messi having had 3 or 4 games under his belt and up to speed, and with Busquets and Jordi Alba also up to speed? Can they win that and then go and win the US Open Cup? Yes, absolutely. The League's Cup, is a wide open tournament. It's a wide open tournament. So anything can happen there.
Yeah, and we can't diminish the fact that the way the rest of the team is kind of transforms around Messi. Look, Yedlin looked better playing with Messi. Joseph Martinez looked better playing with Messi. I know Ed and I both are really interested to see how Campana plays with Messi. So all these things, he just makes everybody better. Yedlin was getting into spaces and doing things that he hadn't done in the past. Joseph looked re-energized. All of a sudden, he can run, and whereas before we were questioning that. So Messi just seems to make everybody else better.
Robbie Robinson is literally puking his guts up trying to get back to the fullback. I don't know if you've seen that video, but
I have that pulled up that we could have talked about it. But and he's getting ragged on because of that. And it's like, look, man, the kid has not played a full game in so long. Even he was injured for most of last year. Then he comes back. He plays in the Barcelona friendly, plays about 15 minutes or something like that. Gets injured again. The kid hasn't played. And look, record heat in Florida. I was out today mowing the lawn and everything, and it's like 97 degrees outside. I'm ready to throw up, and I'm just pushing a lawnmower. I'm not running around on the field.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone should rag on him about that. And there was a couple of times where he made the wrong decision on the field in positions.
It happens.
And the interesting thing how Messi reacted, because Messi did react, But he wasn't doing like the, dare I say, Cristiano Ronaldo thing of like, oh, come on, you know, and frustration.
Or the Higuain.
He very quickly
Higuain
explained. Yeah, Higuain used to do that, didn't he? He very quickly suggested to Robbie Robinson that he might have made a better decision. And you could imagine there being a little conversation in the locker room or on the training ground on Monday saying, hey, you remember that situation here? People are going to benefit from this. You know, they really are, because Messi seems interested in them. He does. I mean, the holding up the Ian Frey shirt after the game for the photograph, that tells me quite a lot. I mean, you know, I've heard cynical people say, oh, yeah, it looks good to do that. Of course it looks good. But I think that's a genuine sign. And the way he's talking to people, and Yedlin was telling us that he's chatting to people in English in the locker room. He doesn't speak great English, but he's like, so he's making an effort to go out of his comfort zone a little bit with these young guys.
Yeah, and if people call him out for holding up the Frey thing and saying it's calculated, it's PR move, whatever, who cares? He did it. Just like the public thing. You know, people are, I saw Alexi Lala saying it seemed staged. Well, yeah, probably was. Public
every photograph does.
It's mentioned it in the interview.
Of course it was staged, but who cares?
Straight away after the game, like minutes after he scored an amazing goal, he celebrated with his family, 20,000 people, fireworks going off, and he tells the commentator really early about his thoughts about Ian Frey. I don't think it was prompted. I don't think it was a question from the journalist either. I think he just said, oh, you know, we're thinking about Ian Frey.
In all accounts that I've read and I've heard and just what I'm watching, it seems like he's just a genuinely good guy. When you compare him to like Higuain, who may be a good person, but he doesn't show it on the field, right? He's an ass on the field. The way he flops his arms around and yells at players, berates Robbie Robinson, whereas Messi kind of coaches Robbie. You know, Gonzalo
he didn't get along with Pizarro either.
Same thing. Same thing. So it just seems like he's overall a good guy, good people, you know, and so that's really important to have him part of this team. Because look, I mean, they've talked about him having ownership stake in this team, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Even after he plays, he'll still be around to some extent. But it's an exciting time. It's just Simon, it feels like goosebumps. Like it seems weird that we're even having this conversation. That Messi is playing for our team. Look, we were just not that long ago trying to get people to come to an MLS Cup watch party, and only 2 or 3 people would show up, and nobody would come to see the Fort Lauderdale Strikers or Miami FC and things like that. And to see where we are now, it's a total pinch me moment.
And even if, like, you know, that photograph I shared of like when Beckham and Marsa stood in front of the overrun Lockhart Stadium, that's like looks like one of those old factories in Detroit or something that have been rewilded or whatever. Even if at that moment Beckham or Mars had said, and one day on this field, you know, Lionel Messi will be. Beckham used to say, I want to bring the best players in the world. Yeah. Yes, I want to bring some big names. But, you know, to be honest, I was thinking, yeah, they'll bring in some players. I could see, you know, some semi-retired Premier League player moving over or this or that. Messi. I mean, if you'd have promised that, he would have been ridiculed. He would. I mean, it's just... And to bring it in with Busquets as well, you know, I mean, I think that the whole thing has to be looked at as... That's why I was so encouraged by the comments about bringing in these young players from Latin America as well, though, because I think like Jordi Alba, if it's Suarez as well at a maximum, and then I think, okay, hold it with the retro experience here. Like let's keep an eye on keep an eye on the future as well, because there is going to be a team after Messi. And let's be honest, some of the people who are jumping on the bandwagon now might not want to stick around if Messi's not here. So you need to have a good team to, you know, remain competitive and relevant.
Yeah, when you name your supporters group 305 Messiah, you know that they're sticking around only for
I wondered
Messi.
What you guys would think about that. Yeah.
You were wondering.
I hear they have good asaditos. They're you know, they've got good barbecues. So
right.
I mean, I think that's their claim for fame for right now.
I mean, that's good. But will they be here after he's gone? And I say probably not. So
probably not.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of fans that are going to be that way. Hey, look, we got a ton new subscribers to this channel, and some of the people that were subscribing clearly said, I'm subscribing while Messi is here. I mean, I get it.
You're not
But
going to turn them
hopefully we
away.
can convince you to stick around. And by, like you said, by Ed's charm and the youth that they're bringing in the team, hopefully people will stick around. But it should be fun.
I'm not sure that Kim Kardashian is going to be there for the early rounds of the U.S. Open.
No,
Cup
I don't think
next
so.
year.
I think all the stars were for that one and done. Although anytime Beckham shows up, some star is there, pretty much always.
Right.
But yes, we had all the stars in that last game. And yeah, my daughter came out to see. I was replaying the game, and she came out of her room just to watch the Kardashian little conversation there that they had, the little interview, because she's curious about why is Kim there. But it was a place to be seen. But speaking of being seen, Simon, where can everybody see your writings and everything that you're doing?
Yeah, the easiest thing is just to follow on Twitter at SG Evans. I write for AFP, which is an agency, and a lot of that goes on Yahoo Sports, but I usually share the stories on my Twitter feed. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was great catching up with you, Simon. So much fun. So many good times in the past, more good times coming in the future. And we'll hit you up again in the future. Thanks so much for doing this with us.
No, thanks for having me on, and look forward to catching up with you both in person as well.
We'll do that. We'll share a beverage in the near future.
All right.
All right. See you, Simon.
Cheers.
All right. Good stuff by Simon Evans.
Taking us back, man, in time when my beard wasn't as gray
as he posted. And that's how we started thinking about him, because he posted a comment about thanking us and talking about us. And I was like, hey, you know what? I forgot about Simon. He was a great guy. Where's he been? Let's talk to him.
Awesome guy. He was one of the few that would cover, back in the day, we were just like 4 or 5 people getting together watching soccer games.
I'm telling you, it was like it was yesterday. He and I just standing around under a freeway in a gravel parking lot with him in his Converse, and just hoping that we might get a chance to see Beckham at the Soccer Cage, I think it was, in Miami, and I think that's where it was. And
I remember that. I was on my way to see a U.S. national team game, I think in Orlando, and you went to go cover that while I went to Orlando to have fun.
And I got a chance to interview Beckham there. I got 3 questions. That was on our old podcast that we used to do, Ultras Alive. So yeah, and it was just hanging out with Simon, and here he is at the time writing for Reuters, and now he's just writing for a bunch of different people. But good stuff. But
yeah, man.
While we did a lot with Simon, which was great.
My wife changed best FMTV, the best show. Love you, babe.
Go. I knew I had to put that one up, otherwise he's getting in trouble. All right, let's go to some voicemails.
It's time for your voicemail. Hello?
My regular intro, man. Yo, I think we just found proof that there's alien life on Earth. All right, and them damn aliens is Leonardo Messi and Sergio Busquets. Yo, the shit that they was doing out there was unbelievable. These guys, we gotta realize they're not even conditioned yet. Messi hasn't played a game since June the 15th. And Busquets haven't played a game since late May. For them to come in here, doing back heels, popping the ball, doing crazy shit. Sergio Busquets, they sit up there talking about Busquets will have a problem with MLS. No, MLS is going to have a problem with Sergio Busquets. That dude is an effing maestro out there. And to see this shit going on, oh my God. Yo. Busquets, Messi just put the whole league on notice. All of that cracking jokes about Inter Miami, them days is over. That is over. We may not get into the playoffs, which I think we probably will get there. But I'm going to tell you right now, we damn sure is going to put the teams that are right above us on notice. You better watch it behind. And, I'm calling it now. That U.S. Open Cup, I think we're going to get that, man. If I'm Cincinnati, I'm S&M bricks right now. Because by the time August the 20th comes up, and we got Jordi Alba, and that kid Diego Gomez is going to be there, and Facuna Farias is going to be there, game over, man. I'm done. Dropping the phone. Peace.
That came in Friday after the game at 10:12 p.m. I think you could hear in the background the post-game show going on. Uncle Ned watching up in New Jersey. I mean,
excited.
Like Luis Rodriguez says, best Uncle Ned voicemail ever.
Uncle Ned isn't me, guys. Just, it's another guy that pretends to be me.
I don't think anybody
really
thought that was you, Ed.
No, but
voice is
some
very
people might.
Different.
The new listeners might be like, "Wait a second, Uncle Ed, Ned." It rhymes, but yeah, it's not me. It's another guy.
Yeah, that level of excitement was amazing. We were in the stadium at that time, so it was definitely crazy. Question coming in from Kata, and I'll talk about it on the audio as well, is that he's asking about if he should get pink or black. I said pink, Ed. Pink or black jersey, authentic or replica. What do you think? Pink or black? I voted pink.
Yeah, I'm about the pink, man. It's different.
And obviously
black,
authentic.
Yeah, and it's easier. If you're going to get it signed, the pink is a lot easier than the black. So,
but okay. Sign.
If you want to
I
sign.
spent almost $200 on that jersey. I don't want anybody's signature on that shirt unless I guess it's Messi.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are going to want to get that
Yeah, but it's not an
signature.
easy signature to get. They're not walking to the training facility like they used to.
Yeah, now
it's not as easy to get.
More difficult to get to the players now than ever. So
yeah,
it's going to be tough. But I mean, some people, maybe they got connections. They can get in close to that VIP section and get that sucker signed.
There you go. All right, another voicemail here.
Woohoo! Oh my gosh, Peter, Uncle Ed, and all the great fans. Peter and Ed are probably like buried under a case of cerveza now out in the parking lot. Woo! What a game. Listen, if you're going to bend it like Beckham, who better to bend it in front of than Beckham? What can I say? That Messi kid is really not bad. And I am so proud of our Noah Allen getting the start and all our youngsters stepping it up. And man, this team looks good. And Chris Henderson, special shout out for making these moves. And of course, the Moss brothers. Man, that was just unbelievable. He might actually surpass Maradona for me. Maybe. I'm jury's still, if he wins the cup, I guess I'll have to promote him. But he's really not bad. All right, guys. Love you. Love the show.
Thank you. And we were definitely having a good time.
Check out
Eric Thomas checking in saying Uncle Ned was liquored up off the Hennessy, boys and girls. He'll bring it down next call. Don't bring it down. Bring it up. Bring it up a notch. We liked it.
I was just saying that, Mr. Krabs is saying in one of his messages that Beckham shed a tear.
It sure looked like it. I was watching it, and Beckham looked emotional for sure. He looked like he was trying to hold it in. I didn't see a tear, but maybe Mr. Krabs did. He was emotional for sure. It was really cool to see the emotion.
It was really cool. It was he's another person. He's really humble. We've met him a few times. He'll talk to you. He's nice, and Messi seems to be the same way. And these guys are, Messi's a potential owner. David's an owner, and he has put a lot of his, not just money, but his emotions into this team. He really loves this team and wants it to be successful. So I think, for him, it's like a dream, man. He said he didn't think of himself as probably being a coach, but he did think of himself, as being more of, he's an owner now. He loves what he's doing. This is a great moment in his life.
Exactly. All right, last voicemail. Still have time if you guys want to leave a voicemail, 786-474-4435. As we start winding down, there's still a couple minutes left.
Hey, yo, what's up? My name is James. I just say, woohoo! What a debut for Lionel Messi. That free kick, you know, it had to be Leo. It had to be the greatest of all time to get the winner. You know, and at the same time, it's great to finally start. It's great to finally win again. You know. So yeah, it was great to finally win, and then like this might take a while. Sorry, but like I just want to say though, I mean, while we did win, there was still a bit of some like I mean these are just little bits of nitpicks, but like man, I'm honestly super surprised Cruz Azul did not score on us already in the first half because like our defense, like hopefully Jordi Alba will change that, but it was honestly a bit frustrating kind of to see the defense, but. Like again, Jordi Alba hopefully will change that when he arrives, and then so yeah, like I'm honestly surprised like Cruz Azul did not score on us in the first half. I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda scored, and then even the midfield, like Sergio Busquets had to have been shaking his head like on the bench, like he had to have been shaking his head looking at that midfield and luckily he's like. And then that changed when he came in, and then Messi, and then him and Messi, like when they entered the game, absolutely changed. And then that's pretty much it. And then and 100% Messi taking this league seriously, because like one of the things I did enjoy was like I guess Messi, like he was disappointed when Inter Miami got scored on, because like I feel like that is 100% that he's 100% taking this league seriously. So. Yeah, again, great win. What a debut for Messi. I mean, sorry if this was a bit long, but yeah, I love your show, guys. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thanks so much. Yeah, it does look like he's going to take it serious, right?
Yeah, it sure does look that way, Peter. His whole body language, he like you know we're talking with Simon. He did say, I mean, it was in the interview. I mean. As soon as he got off of the field, he mentioned Ian Frey and his injury, that they were, supporting him. I mean, that's not scripted. He just came off. He was still sweating. So, he felt it. And, dude, he remembered the names and everything. So he's becoming very familiar with everybody in the team. I like that. It's encouraging to hear that he's trying to speak English. That's even better. So if you run into him in Publix, in the supermarket, Peter can talk to him.
There you go. When are they going to start doing the press conferences in English, Ed? That's what I ask.
Well, that's the thing. That's one of our things, and that's why we're here. Hopefully, some of the people at Inter Miami can hear us. I know you got a message on social media from our good friend Gabe Gabor, but he's with the MLS's corporate, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
so
I love
they're
Gabe.
doing it.
We know Gabe Gabor, and I was watching the press conference that Franco Panizo on Miami Total Football replays, and I saw that Gabe was there. So and when he chatted something on Twitter, I commented because Gabe's our buddy and all that. We've known him for years, but the response was as corporate as you can get. That was Gabe's corporate response. But and I'm thinking,
we love you, Gabe.
Yeah, we love him, but I saw that he was there, so it's like and his response was the Zoom call is translated. I don't care. I'm not watching on Zoom. I'm just your everyday Joe fan, and it wasn't translated for me, and I can't understand. And I want to know what Tata is saying, and I know I got lectured in the stadium that I need to speak Spanish, and I get it. It's a good idea, but
you can see it in that past video.
Yeah, you can see me getting lectured in the live video, in your live stream.
Oh, in the live.
Yeah, you can see me getting lectured about speaking Spanish. And while it is a good idea, it's not likely to happen anytime soon. I'm old, and learning new language is not easy. But a little translation would be nice. But anyways, I went off topic. But there was a question in here, our comment that I thought was funny is that Kata said, I wonder if Marcelo Clore has FOMO. He wasn't part of bringing Messi to Miami. Marcelo Claure, a former owner that was kind of like the rat that got us in trouble for cheating. He turned us in. And then,
well, we don't know that. We're going to try to talk to him about, how
isn't
it all
that
went
what
down.
it was kind of commonly known?
Well, I don't know. That was a rumor, but
you just don't want me to throw him too far into the bus because we're hoping to have him as a guest.
Exactly. We need to give the guy a chance to say, what happened,
his piece,
if he wants to talk about it.
If he wants to. But yeah, it is a question. Does he was so important the early on of getting Beckham here. He is the connection. Marcelo Claure is the connection with Beckham. They met.
He started it all.
And then they brought in Mas. But it was him. And yeah, you do wonder when he sees this, does he wish like, damn, I mean, I started this whole thing. I mean, he was really close to having an MLS Miami team with MLS, Miami Barcelona team. Right. And we went to that press conference. So he did a lot of the early work. I know I give him a little hard time about being a rat, but he did a lot of the early work. And, if it wasn't for him, in all honesty, we wouldn't be here. So he does play an important part.
Yeah. Good thing. And when we have
Mr. Krabs says Messi probably speaks English because, well, his wife can speak English. From what I heard, he understands but doesn't really speak.
It's kind of like Tata. They say Tata's wife is actually an English teacher. And, what happened there? I mean, that should have been easier, She's a teacher.
Yeah,
Tata seems to understand too, because I've seen some of the press conferences, and he's like, it's like he understands what the question is, but he still wants somebody to tell him.
Sure,
I've noticed that the translator still tells him.
He just wants to be 100%. Wants to be 100%. So, anyways, let's wrap this up because we'll go on forever. But Tuesday night they play against Atlanta. I am hoping to be at the game. I don't have tickets just yet, but I'm planning on buying a ticket to go to bring you another game day vlog. That's my goal. No promise yet, but that's my hope. And so, but Bruno's asking the question, who starts on Tuesday? I think you probably see a lot of the same players, but the question is, and we talked with Simon about this, does Messi and Busquets start, or do they come in the second half? What do you think, Ed?
I think they're going to come in the second half, Peter. I think they're still trying to get into, a fitness, game day shape. They're going to give them a little bit more time. They've rested for a couple of days, but I think it's not enough. And plus, they haven't played for a very long time. I mean, Simon said Sergio hadn't played since May, and Messi since June. So they need, I think, a little bit more time. This is Miami or South Florida is very hot right now, very humid. It might say 97, but it's really like 110 sometimes. So that's how you feel it anyway. So I think they're going to conserve them. Second half, they'll come in.
I agree. I think so. I think you're right. So I think that's what we should see. It's going to be an exciting night. I'm curious to see, is it a sold out game like this weekend? I would assume it is, but Tuesday is not the easiest night. And Leagues Cup, I think, should be a big draw. But did you see the turnout in New Jersey for the Red Bulls? I mean, there was nobody there. There might have been more press than fans. It was empty. But then I was watching the Montreal game because I wanted to check in on my boy Duke. And he scored a nice goal. And they had a good crowd in Montreal in their game. So it'll be interesting to see. I expect another sold-out crowd on Tuesday, but I don't think it's quite sold out yet. So there's still a chance to get your tickets, although they are inflated. Mia Rodriguez, where to go? Mia Rodriguez says Messi second half. She's on board with second half.
She's on that, yeah.
All right. Any last thoughts, Ed?
Nothing much, guys. Just be sure to connect with me tomorrow en español, en tu idioma. Hablaremos Messi. We're going to talk a lot of Messi in Spanish tomorrow at 9 p.m.-ish live. Same as this format, pero en español.
All right. And somebody was mentioning, I think Kata was mentioning in here, road to 5K and 20% off of Caneswear, code FMTV. I don't know if it's 20%, but I think it's 10%. But yes, code FMTV. Road to 5K for sure. We are getting close. For just a couple of weeks ago, it felt like this was maybe a pipe dream, but hey, Messi effect. And thanks to you guys, those of you that are here and that have been here from day one and that are here for every week, thank you for your playing your part and really helping to promote this and all that kind of stuff, because we are giving the opportunity. There's an opportunity to get some awesome seats in Drive PNK Stadium for a Messi game.
So be sure to subscribe, guys. Once we get to 5K, we'll be giving away 2 VIP tickets to the Miami game, of course, with Messi playing. Just do your thing. Subscribe.
All right, so we're getting close. So that could be next week that we're talking about this, and then we got to figure out how we do it. So that'll be another challenge. But we're getting real close, guys. So thanks so much, and share our videos. Please help us get there. You guys are here an hour and 26 minutes into this video. If you're still watching it, you are a hardcore, dedicated FMTV viewer, and we appreciate you. So help spread the word. And Sports Shorts says, give the tickets to One World, One Goal. Hey, I think we're going to have to do like a real honest contest. So we will see. We will see how it all goes down.
It's better than a lottery ticket. 1 in 5,000 isn't bad.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll figure out how we're going to give it away. We didn't really talk yet about how we would do it because we didn't know when we were going to do it. And it's getting close. So help spread the word, share the videos, and tell your friends. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow in Espanol.